can't block our only exit road.
Funny, this road is mine. Care to pay the toll?
I woke up one morning and found I couldn't even leave my own land. No storm, no accident, just a brand new brick wall, 8 feet tall, built straight across the edge of my driveway. The only way in or out of my property. No warning, no courtesy call, just a shiny sign bolted to the bricks. Private wall installation approved by Briar Ridge HOA. Here's the catch. I'm not in their HOA. Never was, never will be. My house sits on a 10-acre parcel I inherited from my uncle, long before Briar Ridge's luxury homes started sprouting up like mushrooms next door. Their gated entrances, designer mailboxes, and a fountain with fancy uplighting stood in stark contrast to my place. A gravel road, a red barn, and an old pickup that still runs like it did in '87. Apparently, that was the problem. For years, the HOA tried to buy my land, first with polite offers, then with pressure, then with threats. They claimed my property dragged down their home values, but I never budged. This land is my history. It's where my dogs are buried, where my uncle taught me how to fix anything with duct tape and grit, and where I grew up learning self-reliance. And now they'd built a wall that boxed me in, with zero legal authority. See, the end of my driveway connects to Old Mill Road, a dusty strip the county abandoned decades ago. What the HOA didn't know is that I had quietly purchased that road at auction 5 years earlier. On paper, legally, it was mine, which meant their shiny new wall wasn't even on their property. So, I called the sheriff, showed him the deed. He shook his head and asked, "You want us to tear it down?" I told him, "No, I've got a better idea." First, I hired a welder. Together, we built a massive gate right where the wall ended. Not just any gate, but a 14-foot-tall cattle gate painted neon green with signs that read, "Private road, no trespassing, toll access only." Then a buddy of mine dropped off an old toll booth from a racetrack, and we set it up right in the middle of Old Mill Road, facing the entrance to Briar Ridge's only exit. By the next morning, traffic was backed up for blocks. The HOA president, Richard, the same guy who once called my place a rusted embarrassment, came storming down with a clipboard and an attitude. "You can't block access to our homes," he barked. I calmly handed him a toll schedule. Residents, $250 per month. Guests, $10 per entry. HOA board members, $500 per month, non-negotiable. Richard exploded. He threatened lawyers, media crews, even the mayor, but I'd already spoken with the sheriff, already filed a trespassing complaint, and already had drone footage of their wall being built on my land. Then I sent a letter to every homeowner in Briar Ridge, explaining what happened, attaching photos, the legal documents, and a special offer. If the HOA tore down the wall, apologized, and paid for the damage, I'd consider waiving the toll. Turns out Richard never told the residents what he was doing. He'd spent $80,000 of HOA funds to build a wall on land they didn't even own. Neighbors were furious, but not at me. 1 week later, the wall was gone. 2 weeks later, Richard resigned. 3 weeks later, I got a check in the mail covering every penny I'd spent on the gate, the toll booth, and reseeding the grass their crew had destroyed. But the gate? That stayed, standing tall as a reminder, because now I own their only exit. So the next time someone thinks they can push around a quiet country neighbor, they might want to ask themselves, who really owns the road under their wheels? If that made you grin, drop a comment, road, and share this story.